And we are back on Take Action News. This is RJ Eskow, Richard Eskow. It's been an exciting first hour, and we got an exciting second hour coming up too. I want to tell you about that very briefly. We'll be talking about the budget with one of our top economists. We'll be talking about the State of the Union message with one of the smartest people in Washington. We'll be talking about Social Security with one of the best guys around, and a good friend of mine, Alex Lawson. We have a great hour coming, but I want to talk to you a little bit about the hour that just passed. And I want to ask you, just as I asked you to help us rename Take Action News, I want to ask you a much more important and question without an answer, more of a rhetorical question. But it's a question that's been preying on my mind ever since we wrapped up the last hour. You know, the last hour, a listener might say, was devoted to women's issues. But my question is this: why do they call them women's issues? Why is it, for example, last hour we had a discussion about the anniversary of Roe versus Wade and the fact that even though abortions are the law of the land everywhere in this country, they're not available everywhere in this country. We talked about the case, and this is the one I'll wind up talking about the most. We talked about the case of a woman who, although dead in the eyes of medicine, in the eyes of the law, and in the eyes of her family, is being kept on life support so that her body can be used to bear a child. Okay. And we talked about C.C. McDonald, the transgendered woman who was a victim of a number of injustices in the criminal justice system. So I guess my question to you is this: since when is injustice toward women a women's issue? We don't consider injustice toward the poor a poor people's issue. We don't consider a person who is mistreated. We don't consider, Tom Joad in Grapes of Wrath said, wherever there's cops beating up a guy, you'll see me. He didn't say cops beating up a guy is an issue for guys getting beaten up by the cops. It's an issue for everybody. Where there's injustice against one, there's injustice against all. So my proposal to you, if you agree with the premise of my question, is why don't we think of a better name? While we're thinking of a better name for this program, which is a superficial exercise, why don't we think about a deeper exercise? Think about a better name than women's issues for a situation in which a human being has died. Another human being, her husband, has explained that she didn't want to be, her body kept going, her internal organs sustained by artificial measures, and yet the law in the state of Texas is either permitting or forcing the hospital to keep her corpse going as a breeding location for the infant, which was still of legal age to terminate a pregnancy at the time of her death. That's monstrous. That's the stuff of horror movies. As I said in my interview with the attorney on this issue, if my brother needed my kidney or liver in order to stay alive, and I said no law in the land, no court in the land would throw me into prison for not complying. No court in the land would compel me to go to the hospital and get that major surgery. You might think I was a pretty bad guy and not being a very good brother. And in fact, of course, I would give my brother my kidney, and I think I would, give it lovingly and generously, even though I'm afraid of pain. But that's not the point. The point is, what that example tells us is that there's no question men are treated differently than women by the legal system. That is an issue of freedom, that is an issue of equality, and that is an issue of justice. So what's a better term for a case like the case we're talking about, the case where this woman's organs are being kept alive as an act of the state, as an invasion of the state on her privacy and her family's privacy? Well, what's a better term than women's issues? I want us all to be thinking about it as we go forward. Roe versus Wade. How is it that, it's nearly 40 years later, nearly 40 years after Brown versus the Board of Education, Yes, there was some conflict. There will always be conflicts about integrating our schools, but it was much, seems to me it was much further along. People weren't actively fighting integration of this kind. So what can we do to change the dynamic? What can we do to get a nation going in which women have equal rights to men in these issues? Please be thinking about this as we go forward. And as we go forward also into our next hour, where we're talking about the budget, where we're talking about the State of the Union and what will be said about economic inequality in this country, where we're talking about equality of economic opportunity as well as equality of bodily autonomy. Please be thinking about what it means. You know, a famous French writer said that some people's idea of equality, of freedom, is that the rich man is, let me see if I can get this right, is that the poor man is just as free to sleep under a bridge as the rich man is to travel over that bridge in his carriage. Is that your idea of freedom, or does freedom also include economic equality, economic opportunity, social mobility, a nation where a kid who's born into poverty, which used to be the American dream, can grow up to be anybody he wants to be, anything he wants to be, doctor, lawyer, person of vision, scientist, leader, president, whatever it may be. Do we want to be that country, or do we want to be a country where only the wealthy can have a college education, only the wealthy can survive, only the wealthy can provide their children with comfort and opportunity? So as we go into this hour, I'll be talking about specifics with Ross Eisenbray about the budget that we're about to see. I'll be talking specifics with Maya Rockeymoore about the State of the Union. I'll be talking specifics with Alex Lawson about Social Security. But please think with me and brainstorm with me in the hour to come, in the weeks to come, in the months to come, about what freedom means in a country that lacks economic opportunity and what we can do to fix it. In the meantime, please stick with us. I'm RJ Eskow. This is Take Action News, and we will be back after these messages.